a couple days ago, we heard a weird noise around the house. I generally pay attention to stuff. You can hear the furnace running differently. We have a sump pump. The sump pump, this time it was the sump pump. It was constantly running, so I came down here, took a look at it, and found out that it's a diaphragm pump. We've had this pump in for a couple years now, and no matter what kind of float I put on it, whether it's a diaphragm or an actual float, it has been gumming up and failing after a couple years. So I watch it closely. Our sump pump does pump constantly, not constantly, depending on what season it is. But today I'm going to show you. This will be my first time pulling one apart. We're going to pull this apart and hopefully save ourselves, 30, 40 bucks by repairing and cleaning up this diaphragm pump versus buying a new one. So I don't have many tools laid out because this is sort of fly by the seat of my pants. I do have my trusty 6-way screwdriver. If you don't have one of these, pretty much every big box store makes one. Mine's a Husky. I have a lot of Husky tools, like them, work well. I have tons of these. This is going to be my go-to tool for today. So this is held on. First off, you don't know how it works. This is the end of the diaphragm pump here, and so it has a switching mechanism, and it allows the sump pump to turn on and off through this device right here. So this will just unplug, and these will go off to the side, and I'm going to take these 2 screws out right here. I guess maybe it would be easier with an extension and a 1/4 inch nut driver, and that's maybe what I have to get up and go get here. Like I said, it's sort of an impromptu. This one came out okay. That one over there might be a little. For any of you that have watched any of my videos, you'll know that I'm cleaning and organizing my basement, and that's why we aren't on the workbench today. That's why we're on this makeshift table doing this repair. Okay, we're going to have to pause for 1 second. I'm going to get up and go get something a little different, maybe even a long screwdriver that has a flat head in it to take that off. Okay, I'm back with my large screwdriver. Hopefully when I get the bench put together, this will be a lot easier. Tools will be right there at my grasp, and I won't have to run away from the camera so many times. This one's pretty seized on. You can see it's all rusted up. Like I said, we get a lot of crazy water through here, and even this may not work. Nope, we're gonna have to okay, we're gonna have to go get the nut driver and try to pull it off that way. Okay, I'm back with a 5/16 socket on an extension to a 3/8 drive socket wrench, and that probably would have been the proper tool from the beginning. That came out extremely easy. So I try to keep everything together so I know where stuff's coming from. A lot of times I'll even thread it back in so I don't lose it, so it's right there with the pump itself. And then when I can't even put the float back on without there. So I'm going to slide it over. We're going to take a look at this real quick. So now this is a pretty simple design. It has, basically as the water goes up, the more pressure on it, and that diaphragm goes up and pushes some contact. So what I'm guessing is there is, this is gummed up. Now this has screws all the way around. Like I said, this will be the first time I take one apart, so we'll see it together here. You probably don't have the best light, and I'm sorry, I'm still learning. I will, when I figure that all out, these videos will be a lot better, hopefully. So we'll get these screws out and see what's under here. assume this would just pop off, but looks like it may be silicone, so we may need to silicone it back on when we put it back on. Let's get a little screwdriver in this thing and see if we can pry her apart. I'm just working around it slowly, not to crack the plastic, only break apart whatever kind of seal they have in there. We'll see what kind of seal they have. I see it goozed out on this side here. I don't know. Okay, so there it is. That's out. There's our diaphragm. And it does. It has some gum on it, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's the issue or what the issue is yet. So I'm guessing this is just a pressed in like an O-ring. So I'm pulling that out right now. About trying not to rip it. That came out. I'll wash that down in the sink, but you know, it needs to be see, we may just have a bad diaphragm switch. It seems to be sticking. So I guess we might as well keep on tearing apart here and see if, I don't know if there's going to be anything serviceable part past this. So well, I guess I'm going to spend a couple more seconds here pulling this apart and seeing what I have to do. I'm not going to bore you with it. We'll see what and if you can do anything to it. But like I said, I can hear it sticking. It just, you know, doesn't have the back pressure. I don't know if the spring's gone in it or if the contacts are sticking. You know what's wrong with it, but I will. I'll continue busting it apart and we'll see the inside, but I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, so I took the cheap way out, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in there, but everything, all the copper is green and corroded, and you know, my guess is it's actually, there is a spring in there, but my guess is it's just so corroded, so a little bit of moisture, it's not wet in there, but you know, it must have been getting damp at some point. So this is going to go in the garbage. I try not to save anything anymore. I may cut this cord off and save that as a piece of service cord and put it in my electrical box, but other than that, I'm going to cut it off and throw it in the garbage. I'm going to run down to the store and pick up a new float. I believe all they carry now is the regular flip float type, so I'll bring that back, show you how I put that on my pump, and we'll go from there. See you in a little bit. Okay, I did want to say something. You know, I said I don't save things anymore, and that is because I did hoard, and I don't think I was a hoarder like in the sense of a lot of these people you see on TV, but I have a lot of tools and a lot of hardware, so I've been trying not to save stuff. But I'll tell you, this is something you do want to pull off that switch if you're getting rid of it. It's a cool piece, and you know, you can use it to make a lot of stuff around the shop, and especially if you're into electronics. So you know, now with this, I can take at this end and switch a device just like that switch was, that diaphragm switch was doing, and switch it, you know, remotely. So this is something cool. I am going to hold on to this and just throw it in my electrical part bin, and hopefully someday I'll be making a video with something on it and I'll let you know where it came from. So just did want to tell you that real quick. I did save it, but this was the only part I saved off that. I went down to Home Depot and bought this tethered float switch. Ran me just over $40. That's the reason why I was tearing apart that other switch to see if there was anything that could be serviced in it. Didn't want to spend $40 if I didn't have to, so this is what I picked up. Should be fairly simple to install. I will be doing another video on plumbing a sump pump because my sump pump needs replumbed. The company that installed the sump pump before I bought the house just didn't do a good job. It was a waterproofing company, and they just were in and out and took the lady's money pretty much, and you know, and now I'm left with it. But that's okay. It does what it needs to right now. We're gonna get through. The crock's almost full. We have a rainy day here, so I need to get this on and get it pumping again, and then another day I'll replumb that and show you guys how to replumb it. I also have on the pump here is an 1.5-inch pipe going out, but they put this 1.25-inch check valve and just squeeze down the rubber onto it. That just doesn't work right, so we have all kinds of problems with that too. But I'll clean up the pump that day, and we'll do a couple things like that, and should be good times. So the way the floats work is it goes up. There's a ball inside it just moved. It makes contact, and then it drops back down, moves, shuts off. Easy as that. I'm going to find a spot to mount it on here. It looks like there's actually a plug right here to possibly mount it. Now, I don't know. That may be a motor service port, which I may be getting myself into something. Yeah, you know what that is. That's the only problem with switching types. When you have a certain type on there, this is made also for a, Ridgid makes another kind that goes on here. Like I said, I was limited to what the store has, unfortunately. We may just zip tie it right there to there's a little service anchor right there. That may be the easiest actually. And just see how that works. It looks like right there I'd get a decent, leave about 1 inch or so of that. I'm going to go get some black zip ties out of one of my drawers over here, and we'll fasten it there and see if that works. Okay, I got 2 black zip ties. Like I said, I'm going to put this on the far side away from that. I really don't use, my crock's not deep enough. I don't need to use that. That would be used if you had a really deep crock and you had to lower it down with a rope. I really don't use it, so this won't bother me. Looks like it's going to work out good. Snip that just so it doesn't get in the way. I'm going to put one more just through that eye and sort of cross it around. I might go this way so it pulls it that way a little bit. That way if one breaks, hopefully the other one will hold it till I notice. And help. That one. So we are all ready to go. We'll unravel this cord. Take that. Plug it in there. And we're all ready to drop this in the sump and see if it works. I'm not going to show you that part today because, like I said, I'm going to make another video you know, explaining how to replumb this. I'll replumb it from basically the cast out and outside. So if you are looking to, you know, reinstall a sump pump, be looking for that probably within the next couple weeks. But I'll drop it in and I'll let you know if it works okay. Okay, I forgot one thing here that I want to tell you that's sort of important. I have my 2 screws down here that held on the other one. Now, if when I replumb this I decide I don't like how this is working, I may make a bracket that will screw onto there to hold that. So what I'm going to do, or anytime in the future, hopefully this pump lasts me a long time and it's just a switch that'll keep giving me problems. I'm going to run these screws all the way in. Actually, I guess they would be bolts, but I'm going to run them all the way in, and that way when I do want to attach something to it, I can just back them out and any rust or corrosion will come out with it instead of trying to re-tap and re-thread that at a later date. So I'll finish that, get it thrown in, and I'll come back and let you know how it worked. Okay, so that install went perfect. It's back there working. Crock fills up, it turns on, water level drops off, shuts off. I watched it cycle a couple times. I feel quite confident it's going to work, get me through this little rainy period. Hopefully the ground will freeze up, which will slow down the water. Then we can do the replumbing video, and there may be a small electrical video in there too. I want to put that on a different circuit, and we'll show you that as well. Hopefully these videos get better as I continue going here. I know lighting may not be the best, sound may not be the best, but we're working, I'm trying, practicing, and we'll make them work for you. Thanks for watching. See you soon. So I want to give one more tip. I'll take this empty box. I have an empty box that the instructions are in and my receipt, and close it up, and I'll just set it right back there by the sump pump. It won't bother me back there. It'll sit there until I probably do the plumbing video, then I'll chuck it. I generally hold on to the box for about a week or two, maybe even up to a month, or in a corner like that I may forget about it for quite a while. But with that back there, if something does happen, usually it breaks in the first week, couple hours, couple days, and then I have everything that I can take it back to the store and hopefully have no hassles at all returning it. So I just want to give you that tip. Thanks.